them points of views when I see it my way. Yes, it goes. Yes.
Hello, everyone. This is Spitting Fire coming to you with another one. So first, we're going to be talking about Clubhouse, Wack 100, and we're going to be talking about No Jumpers, Sharp, and AD, and Adam. We're going to be talking about all of them. Now, these are some podcasts are going against each other, right? So we have No Jumper, which is a podcast, and we have the Clubhouse, which is a podcast. Now, they're on several different platforms, and I know that Clubhouse has a TV part where they upload clippings of the audio site and put it on YouTube right now. However, when Sharp and Wack 100 a few days ago got into this very heated discussion to where Wack 100 threatened to have him beat up in his own warehouse to where they film or record No Jumper. He said he would have AD, who works for Adam on No Jumper, to beat up Sharp, right? So I found it to be interesting because actually No Jumper had took on their platform to discuss the situation about Wack 100 saying he will get AD to beat up Sharp when they had this discussion. And the reason why Wack 100 and Sharp got into it because Wack felt that Sharp disrespected the stage where he was asking people about how much they make and all these type of things. One of the things I found out to be a person of a particular age, I will say, is when it comes to money, that can be an insult when you ask people how much they make or whatever, as insinuating that, you know, you make more or they don't make none or whatever the case may be. Now, I'm not saying Sharp did that, but I'm just saying that's how people can't take it. So AD went on No Jumper and he was addressing what he was talking to Adam and some other guys. And he was talking about Wack 100 being his guy and Sharp being his friend. And instead of him just beating up Sharp, because he said normally if Wack wanted him to beat up anybody else, he would do it because he felt Wack would do it for him. But because Sharp is his cool guy with him as well, then he felt like he would just try to be the peacemaker on this. So let's listen to what AD had to say on No Jumper in response to what Wack 100 indicated that he would get him to beat up Sharp. Let's take a listen here.
When it comes down to
leave all that in, by the way.
Yeah, leave all that in.
What were you talking about? What's the general?
Oh, nothing.
No, good.
No, but let me break everything down when it comes down to like me and Wack's relationship. A lot of people, they'll be like, why do you never go at Wack? Why are you afraid or are you this or you this, you that?
Terrified.
Terrified, right? Let me tell you this. Wack has done a lot for me to try to push my career further. You know what I'm saying? A lot. So certain things that he does, I just stay out of it, kind of like how Game does. Game is his manager. Blueface, he's Blueface manager as well too. He stays out of certain antics. I do not agree with everything Wack says, and he knows this shit. You feel me? Now, for one, you feel what I'm saying?
So basically, you're saying that this is why you will beat up Sharp for him?
No, wait. Let me finish going. On top of that, there's a fucking commercial that me and Game did for this app and shit like that. Every single situation, he actually like tried to bang on my old manager like, you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing. I snatched nephew up, and nigga didn't call Birdman and try to link me with Kevin Gates. And then the tip of the iceberg was, nigga, we in Miami, nigga. Everybody knows Club Live is not a place that you could just go perform at, bro. That's where Drake performs, Future, all the big dogs and shit like that. That nigga sees me in Miami, he walks me to the DJ booth in Miami. Nigga, play this shit. Let nephew perform, and I'm performing in Miami, my fucking local LA hit.
So this is why you are required to beat up
No,
Sharp
it's
for
not.
Wack
It's
100.
it's not required.
Part of your contract.
He's saying this is why
No,
he allows.
I'm just saying that I don't get into
to
the
speak on his behalf like
logistics on stuff like that. Now, let's say I didn't have the relationship that I have with Sharp. Sharp is my boy. You feel me? If I didn't have the relationship that I have with Sharp, and it was just a random nigga, and he was like, "Hey nephew, take that fade for me," I'm gonna do that shit. Cause I can call him and he gonna do the same for me. Hey, get down with this person. He gonna do the same for me in return. I don't think he knows me and Sharp's relationship. That's my homeboy. If anything, I'm gonna try to, Batman this shit and put them two on the phone and make this shit shake. But
I'm gonna just stay out of it because he said I would open the door for him to confront Sharp. No. We're not doing that for anybody. We got armed security here. Nobody's getting into the building. It does not have official business to do here. And on top of that, Sharp is my brother with an A at the end. I got mad love for him. I would never let anything happen for him. To him.
And bro, that shit was funny because I'm like.
But shout out to Wack. Because I got mad love for Wack, but also like, don't bring me into it. This is a place of business. Nobody getting smoked, beat up, jumped, whatever here. Leave me out of it.
Now, I listened to that, and fair use on that. But I listened to that, and the first thing I thinking to myself is, okay, I see AD saying that he would be the peacemaker because he is cool with, Sharp, and he really gave, respect to Wack 100. And he don't want the two men to be going at it because he don't want to be in the middle of it. I understand that. But he said if Sharp wasn't who he was to him, that, as I reiterated earlier, that he would do it if Sharp Wack 100 asked him to because Wack would do it to him. Now, Adam 22 said no, nobody's going to beat up nobody's here. And nobody's going to come in here and stomp and all this and that because they got armed security and all this and that. Just like the typical white person, which, because the law works for them, right? And it's and with black people, they ain't quick to be, calling the police or, all this type of stuff, police officials and things of that nature. And that's including security guards and everything else. However, to sit up there and allow a guy to say that he will he will come to your establishment and beat up one of your crew or workers or partners or whatever it is, not only is it okay, you're cool with him and I'm cool with him, that's fine, but you're not going to come and bulldog and bulldoze my podcast and say you're going to beat up somebody on my crew, no matter how good we are or how friends we are, because he don't come on the Clubhouse and say I'm going to beat up the people that be on Clubhouse. And when it was Clubhouse and they was talking to Sharp and Wack 100 were getting into it, I seen that the people that were down with Wack 100 would come going in on Sharp. Now, that wasn't the same on No Jumper. Not saying that they should have, but I would have been a little bit more aggressive because it's out of respect. Like, you're going to respect my platform. Like, you're not going to just say you're going to beat up my people and what you would do. You know what I mean? You're not going to do that here. Like he said, keep me out of it. I wouldn't have been like, keep me out of it. I'd be like, respect my platform and respect who work for me. You're not going to beat him up because he working for me, and you're not going to come in my crew and bulldog and like you going to beat him up in my establishment and you work for me because we cool. Because you don't do that when it comes to Clubhouse. So it's like when somebody says something, the same way I respect your domain, your establishment, is the same way you respect mine. You don't see Adam going over there getting mad and going at all of the people that rock with Wack 100. So I just felt like that was just a disrespect. But the way he handled it was the typical way that a Caucasian would handle it because the law works for them, okay? And that's probably the way that black people should handle it too, to cease fire on all this violence that's going on. And that we won't have two men like Sharp and Wack 100 going at it and resulting of violence. But we're going to actually get into a part 2 of this because I want to talk a little bit more about this situation, not just with Adam and what Wack said about what he would do with Sharp when he come to the warehouse and beat him down, but when he was screaming at Sharp, he was always, and this ain't the first time I heard this young man say Paru, and that's a gang affiliate of the Bloods from what I read, okay? I don't know anything about gang affiliations, all right? But when I read on Google, I was kind of confused because I heard that the Pyru started out with the Crips. It's just so confusing to me. All these colors is just remind me of the LGBT. Anyways, we have to sit up there and get into the bottom of this because I'm going to do a part 2 about this Pyru stuff and this Bloods and Crips and everything else. Because Wack 100, when he gets into it with people, that's the first thing he screams is Pyru. So I noticed that on several of the heated conversations he had with people. All right, thank you for tuning in to Spitting Fire. I'm your girl, Fire out.